What up? How's everybody doing? It is Tuesday. It's mixing up it. Holy crap. And I forgot to mute that. So sorry everybody. Alright, so yeah, it is Tuesday. Here we are for mixing it up. And we're waiting for Overdrift to show up. And yeah. So for today's episode, what we're gonna be doing is doing a little bit of a as I said, a time warp on the title. We're gonna go back to our first official mix for the show, and we're gonna go through it and redo it and see how this turns out. Hopefully we can do a better job than we did a year ago. That's the expectation and hope. And honestly, going through my recipe from last year, I saw some things I hated and all that, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get to that point.
Yeah.
And Sifu's just be dancing.
I am excited.
Yeah, right.
Excite bike.
So Sifu, what have you been up to lately, man?
Oh, buddy. Remember how the last couple of weeks I said I was very slow with orders, and then all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom, I got flooded, and I made over 2,700 milliliters of liquid this weekend. So
Yeah.
it was good. It was a good mixing weekend, and I was talking to Clown before the show, and I finally got my GX set up last night.
Mm-hmm.
I did the mesh, and I put it in there, and I did the whole thing, and it's wicking beautifully. And I made myself some the new version of my bourbon peach that I call One Peach Man. I got the concentrates
One
just to make
Peach
it for
Man.
my brother because I knew what he would want, and so I bought some special concentrates just for him. I made it as an adaptation of my previous bourbon peach mix, and I was like, this is now the bourbon peach mix." And I changed the name from Drunken Master to One Peach Man, and just to kind of separate it from the previous one. And very, very happy with this. It's been nice enough to put in this stupid little high-end little thing. So, and I've been vaping it nonstop like a crazy person. So I made that, some liquids for my wife, and some care packages went out. Texas Mom, I hope you're watching. Hope to see you soon if you catch the replay. I got your package out. I got Grandma package out, and I helped another fellow in the community. And it was a good weekend. Very happy to be back in the swing of things. It felt good to put all of that out. And yeah, that's what I did.
Nice.
What did you do?
Mixing so far. I know I filled in some stuff, and I've actually been getting some feedback on one of them from a good old friend of mine who used to do liquids, and he got out of the game a long time ago. So I sent him the rectum balls, and the dude is known for having a bomb key lime pie. So I was like, I really want to know his opinion, and this is kind of something Anthony Romella has pushed on quite a bit. And he said he's vaping at MTL, and I never tested that one MTL, so I didn't know what it would be like going into it and stuff like that. And he was vaping it at like 12 watts, and he said all he could taste was the graham cracker. So that was an interesting thing, and he even brought it up. I think he bumped it up to like 20 watts, and he said there's a little bit more of the lime and stuff in there. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So these are things that I personally need to test for more on my liquids. And I mean, I don't really test for them all that much because not many people do actually. At least for me, I don't get many MTL requests. It's almost always just people that like RDAs and anything that just chiefs. So these are things that, Anthony Romella has pointed this out several times that, like us, we don't really design liquids for like sub-ohm and things like that. Like, we do test them out sometimes. Like, I have tested in some sub-ohm tanks because I have a couple of them. I want to get some better sub-ohm tanks because the ones I have aren't like the world's greatest. But it is one of those things that, trying to work more into working along with that. I mean, even somebody earlier in the Grim Facebook page asked, does anybody notice how some liquids taste better in RDAs than they do in RTAs or sub-ohm tank, and vice versa? And that was like what I put on there. Like, my comment on it was, yes, the atomizer, they all play a big part in it, but also how is the liquid designed? And to me, as a mixer, I do put that into account because, again, we tend to do mostly for RDAs. Even when we're doing stuff here on the show, we tend to try things out on RDAs, and they work completely different than anything else. So I don't know. It's really good to get some feedback on more MTL users because I don't know many. So it's one of those things. You need a sub guy at the show. Yeah. I don't know, Anthony. If you want, you're more than welcome to come on at any time. You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, that's a good point. I should probably get. It wouldn't hurt to go down to the local vape shop and say, what is people buying the most of? And get one of those.
Yeah, and I mean, you'll probably get stuck with the smoke tank.
Yeah.
I have 2 of them. I didn't care for them, didn't like them. And this is that I actually ended up using Vapresso coils because they work in them. And it's still, like, I have a Vapresso tank, and that tank is better than the smock ones. And,
yeah,
I mean, when it comes to those, the design falls more onto the coil style, at least from what I feel. Falls more into the coil design.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like the PNP coils.
Yeah.
They work. And my wife uses one for every now and then whenever she breaks her tank. so I have to set that up every now and then I vape it, and it's like, yeah, that's good in there. And so she don't mind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, I just don't.
Choice. It's like, stop breaking your tanks.
Yeah, I just don't sub them a whole lot. I was not a fan of them. Like 8 years ago, before I got into rebuildables? Yeah, 7 years ago. Because I've been vaping for, 9.5 years already? So, it's one of those things of, like, I just was not a fan of sub-ohm tanks back then, so I haven't explored a whole lot.
They were bad back then.
Oh, yeah, they were god-awful.
I mean, they were pretty bad. They were bad back then.
Well, that and everything was MTL, and I did not have an appreciation for MTL at that point, because, as I've said in other times, yes, the G2 coils. What's it called? When I was a smoker, I was actually a direct lung smoker. Like, I actually would just suck down a cigarette in like 3-4 puffs, and it was gone. Because that's the kind of smoker I was, because I was trying to kill myself faster. But I didn't even know what the hell MTL was at that point in my life. So now that I understand these things, I have more of an appreciation for it. But still. Alrighty. Let's just do a quick ad break. Maybe we'll have a overdrip at that point. But for now, let's just do this.
Hurry up, bro.
Ad break.
Wife had one of the Falcon tanks.
Yeah.
I think it was the one that would swing open, and she was terrible about laying it on its side. So, and it would just leak all over the place. Because she'll lay down with it, put it on her chest, and just lay down with it. It's like and fall asleep. It's like, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
Last night she put it on the side of her. She fell asleep watching TV. And I went to shake her. I was like, hey, let's go to bed. She gets up, she pulls the cover, and the mod goes, I was like, oh. That's why I always have to have a spare intake dual. I found one. I found one yesterday. I bought it from the fair. I was like,
dude, I still need an intake. I still need to get an intake.
Awesome. They're hard to find now. That's the problem, man. They don't make them anymore. It was a fantastic tank.
Yeah.
The dual coil, the intake dual.
I will say,
I've tried to find the singles, but no one gets rid of them.
Like, I know we don't really talk hardware on the show a whole lot, but I'll say this much. One thing I do hate about the vape industry is how quickly everybody just moves on to the next thing. And I get it. We are bombarded with products. Like, it's
Yeah.
way too much to keep up with. Because, like,
Yeah,
just on my desk
take a
alone, I have a fucking disaster. But,
yeah, take a page from Kennedy or Reload. Can you just keep making the same shit over and over? Like, I understand that they moved on from their RDA,
mm,
the original. And I wish they didn't because I really like that one and I regret selling it. But
mm,
it's like you can still buy it, the OG Reload tank
yeah,
dual. You can still
yeah,
buy it,
oh yeah,
and it's still $70.
yeah, oh yeah.
But you can still buy it.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like, especially like Chinese companies just tend to move on way too
Mhm.
quickly. Because I mean, even like, if say you have a tank from like 2 years ago, most likely, unless it's one of the bigger companies or it's one of the more popular ones, you're most likely not going to be able to find a coil head for it or a replacement glass or something
Yeah,
because they just
and
moved
you
on.
right, and I agree with Nick when he says that, he really likes these products that have the same coil ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Like like the PNP coils are perfect for that because they're really good, and the devices are good, and you have your choice between a pod mod, a mod with a tank, a pop-in, a
Yeah.
pod system with the same coil. You have your whole range of products that work on the same coil, as opposed to like you were saying. Uh, here's a Smock VF12, and then next year we're gonna have the VF13, and then we're gonna have the baby beast, and we're gonna have the big baby beast, and we're gonna have the super giant colossal baby beast, and
The
they're
super
all different
colossal
colors.
baby beast.
I'm sorry, I have kids. We watch Boss Baby a lot.
No, I know. That's just funny. The baby colossal. Because
Colossal boss.
wouldn't that just be a standard smock
Yeah,
tank?
yeah, super colossal boss baby.
No, yeah, but I mean that's the truth of it. I mean, I do remember there was like a more slower time, and now it's just now. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. PSS, you have to get spares. That's why
Yeah,
I like rebuildables because
yeah.
especially like RDAs, they last. Like I still have
Hmm.
my first recoil. I haven't had to do anything with it other than change coils, and
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
I bought when I got my Typhon, I broke a glass on it and I panicked, and then I ended up having to order. Ordered like four glasses for it, and a couple of rebuildable kits. And then while I was doing it, I bought a rebuild kit for this, and just make sure you got your stuff.
yeah,
So
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, it's like you remember a while back I was dealing with the Aegis boost, and like I have the boost pro, and then you were kind enough to send me the original boost,
yeah,
but I hit this point of, well, I need to either buy a new coil head or get the RDA section for the boost pro, and luckily I did just
you
buy
didn't
the
like the regular boost.
it was too small. Trying to fill that thing is kind of not the easiest of
Pain in
things.
the ass.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it vapes really well though. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that little the rebuildable head in that pod was pretty good.
I don't know.
Uh,
Like, I mean, see, this is like the difference in both of them. This is the
yeah,
RDTA that they came out for the Boost
yeah,
Pro, and
yeah,
then that's the Boost. And
yeah.
that fill port is just not workable.
It's garbage.
It is. But with that, this is a mixing show, not a hardware show. It's just like I don't know. It's just one of these things. Like we don't really talk hardware a whole lot, but hardware plays a big part in what we do. Because without the hardware, there's no
Absolutely.
point in what we do. So every
So
once in a while,
before we move on from that, while we're stalling for overdrive,
yeah.
your what is your reference? Because I know that I have a reference RDA, whatever. I am testing, testing, testing.
Uh huh.
Okay. Uh, that that I'm very familiar with, and I'm very happy with the way that it presents flavors. What's yours?
For testing, dude, it's gotten really weird because like recoil's still my go-to. Like, sorry, I just it is what it is. I've been trying out most of the single coil atomizers I have, which involves also squonking because almost everything that's single coil is more than likely on a squonk. Then I have been trying out some of the newer RTAs that have come out recently, like what's this guy called again? The Type Two, things like that. And but like I said, MTL is one of those things I don't really play a whole lot. Like the closest I come is maybe I'll throw something in a billet box and see how that goes. But even then, I'm rocking like a point 0.5, so I would count that more as a restricted lung than an actual true MTL. So,
Hmm.
you know. But
For me, for my reference RDA is the Reload S for a single, and then I move it on to the Reload X for a dual. I'm pretty much sure that anything in that range will be fine. For restricted lung, I'll put it in the Rose
mm-hmm.
or this the what is this one? The Citadel? Yeah,
Yeah,
Citadel. Yeah,
I
the
think so. It
Citadel.
looks like it.
And then for mouth to lung, I'll put it in the Pioneer. So I have this one like as tight as it could go, you know.
Yeah,
So um, it's so easy to rebuild in wick, so it goes pretty quick.
yeah.
I
Well,
do
it's like
I do test, but I don't test in a sub ohm tank. I really don't. And it would actually be pretty cheap to do that. Well, actually, it isn't because I mean you have to toss the whole coil
yeah.
in. You know, kind of
Yeah, and I think that's
my
that
biggest
at least
issue
for
with
me
it.
personally, that was one of the things that keeps me away from sub ohm tanks. Is that like flavor retention on sub ohm tanks is an amazing thing. Because I could throw something in the billet, I could vape it dry-ish, and it'll vape funky for a couple of hits, and then it'll switch out eventually, really quickly. On a sub ohm
Mhm.
tank, I never had that luck, and just to me, it's one of those things. I was saying MTL. I actually made some MTL coils recently and added that to my coil menu, and I actually
Ooh.
have one of them in the K Fun. And listen to that.
Ooh.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna need those. I'm gonna need those. I
They
need a new
sound
call for the Pioneer.
they sound angry,
I
dude.
need those. I need one of those for the Pioneer because I'm
Mm-hmm.
out. I have the one AJ Holland billet box spec, and then I have the big barrage guys that you made for me, and that's that's it. Fuck.
That's
I'm
all
gonna have
she
to
wrote.
hit you up. I'm gonna have to hit you up there.
We'll
Hit
talk
you
after the
up.
show. I'll have a proposal for you.
Is it indecent? I hope it's indecent.
Oh, it's very indecent.
Ew.
All right. So the profile mesh. Yeah, actually, I tried the original. I tried the RTA. I've not tried the. I've not tried the M, which I'm curious about, but I don't know.
I have a profile mesh somewhere. It came in
Mm.
that box that Groom had sent me. I can't bring myself to do it. I don't know
Uh,
why.
you're gonna love and hate it if you try it. That's all I gotta say. Because wicking it
All the
is
cotton, all the juice.
the wicking it is not the best. Like it's not easy, but just mesh in general is just a pain in the ass to wick. No matter like most RDAs that do mesh, is just the profile does it right, and you'll even get some profile notes that you've never found. But if you like a hot vape, don't expect that out of this. It's just like a whole mixture of things. It's really weird, but like that's why I've had them, but they've gone away just because I just trying to wick them is just not worth it to me personally. I
You know what, Advocate? I do like the Barrage also. I do like the Barrage. The Barrage, I just find that I get a better top end on the Reload S. I find the Barrage is real heavy. So that's just me.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hope I taught you some today. Yeah.
I hope it's time for some education.
Nice, he did it. Oh man. Alrighty, so as I was saying, we're gonna revisit the first official mix we did on this show, and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, it turns out better than it did a year ago. I don't know, Sifu. You want to start us off? You have any points?
Yeah,
Anything
man.
you thought about while looking over what you did a year ago?
I did. I wrote some notes into this original mix, and my issue with it was that I was trying to just do. I went into it with the approach of I wanted to experiment with an alcohol flavor. Just I
Mm-hmm.
want to see how boozy I can make this.
Yeah.
Problem was is that I succeeded. So it was too much like gin, and it was very dry. Um, the juniper and all of that stuff was really good, but it didn't make for a very fun vape. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like holy shit, this tastes like gin. But then you go, holy shit, this tastes like gin. You know, like I enjoy gin with ice. You know, I can drink straight gin if it's good gin. I can drink it with some ice.
Yeah.
I prefer it with, I prefer it with some vermouth and a little bit of spritzer and shaking real hard and putting into a martini. You know, so um, so I like those layered flavors of gin, but it vaped so dry, and so going into this one, I wanted to kind of take a twist on that and go more in the French 75 route. So I'm going to do botanical gin from VTA at 1.5%. I'm going to use the Brut bubble wine from Flavora as the topper for the French 75 at 1%, a 0.5% of cucumber, a 0.5% of elderflower to make kind of like the Saint Germain portion of the French 75. I'm going with the juniper from VSO at 2%, the squeeze of lime with the lime Tahiti distilled at a 0.5%. And I don't want this super sweet, but I want that citric acid from the super sweet. So 1/4% of the super sweet. So that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully, um, hopefully it comes out a little more saturated and a little more rounded and balanced. And it's going to work a lot better as a cocktail as opposed to just a straight shot of gin. So I called it, my first mix was Gin Xer because I am a Gen Xer and it was a Gen mix. I thought it was funny, but since this is like the reboot, first season episode, season 2, episode 1, it's the Gen Xer retcon. So I'm retconning. Oh, okay, I'm retconning the that first recipe. So we'll just pretend that it never happened, and this is the way it was supposed to be from the very beginning. So it's being retconned. So I am pulling full creative license, and I'm saying this is my character, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. So force duality be damned. So Ooh. Why not? Sweet. Really? That's fascinating. It's at Wonder Flavors. Which one is it? The Cannoli Show. Okay. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Gotcha. Well, how fancy. Right. You know, it's real fascinating, Clown, where we start talking about you know, this has a real nice greasy texture. Like if you really wanted something that had a greasy texture, that's funny, right? We,
Uh-huh.
we were talking about that kind of shit at the, the very first episode.
Oh, dude, I just did that whole conversation with you for no reason. I was muted, and I had the different page up. Okay, so
What?
like I was saying, sorry, I muted myself because I needed it
We'll do
clean
it again. We
my
have
nose.
time. We're still stalling for overdrift.
Yeah, pretty much. So looking at last year's recipe, I really didn't know what I was doing, and it just did not play out very well. At least I don't remember it. I don't know if I vaped through it, and that just says a little bit about the recipe itself. So we did some changes. I do need to get some my sweetener, and I just realized I don't have the black currant from Flavora in front of me, so I'm gonna have to find those real quick. But the recipe itself has changed, and you can actually go and it's on my MIU grouping, and it actually shows you on there like all my recipes. It'll be the first one all the way down, and then the most recent one will be the the new one. So
Right.
the new recipe is, what is it? Black currant from Favora, black currant from Flavor Art, boysenberry, raspberry from Wonder Flavors, cream custard from Wonder Flavors. Then I kept the crepe and the deep fried pastry dough from Wonder Flavors. And then I added legendary custard. And like I was telling Sifu, I just wanted to add some custard on it. Don't know why. I really, that's just where I'm at right now. And some raspberry jam from VTA. And then we're going to do Capella Super Sweet at 0.5%. And like I was telling Sifu, if you guys are doing like a pastry and you want to add like a bit of a fried greasiness to it, the cannoli shell from Wonder Flavors does an amazing job at that. Personally, I like how it comes out and it plays with it. So if you guys ever have like wanting to like play with something that'll add like a little bit more to your like fried doughs and stuff like that, cannoli shell is not a bad place to go. And sorry about the muting, guys, because we
Yeah,
were.
and I was telling him, I was like, it's funny that we were talking about like, yeah, if you ever find in your a place where you wanted something kind of fried greasy
Mm-hmm.
in a vape, that's something we would have never said episode one. So that's real funny.
Yeah. But yeah, last year's episode, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But here, I'm gonna mute myself or turn off my camera, and then you keep people entertained, Sifu.
Anthony Lamella, Anthony Lamella, he's a hell of a fella.
There you go.
Are you not entertained? Watching me shake my junk. So we're going to wick up this. I got my Citadel on my little swaggy tube, the pink and black guy. We're gonna juice her up. We're gonna juice it up, and I'm hoping that this guy comes out. You know, I went ahead and I overdripped. Overdripped my my Shaws here. I'm really hoping that this comes out to like a nice, refreshing. I don't know if you guys know what a French 75 is, but um, it's a gin drink. Basically, what they'll do is they'll take gin, Saint Germain, some lime, and they'll shake it up into a cocktail mixer, and then they'll pour it out, and then they'll top it off with champagne and a little squirt of lime. So that's what a French champagne is, French 75. Some people use lemon, some people use lime, some people use Saint Germain for an elderflower note. Some people do what's called a Mexican 70, which is the same thing but with tequila instead of gin. So, here we go. Hey! Hey!
What's up?
Hey!
All right, I'm ready. Not really, but I'm gonna say that I'm ready. Oh, I can say, okay, so I'll just be real quick. The very first episode, I did a banana bread custard. I don't really remember it, so I can imagine it probably wasn't the greatest. So I'm gonna redo it. And
Awesome.
today it's gonna be considerably better because I know that I'm better as a mixer, but not only that, I also know that I'm just better now. So it'll be better. There's a lot of confidence in that. I appreciate. But
Better is better.
when you're better, you're better. So
Right.
my first one, I used banana nut bread from TPA, banana puree from Wonder Flavor, cinnamon Danish swirl from Capella, cream cheese icing from Lorraine's or however you want to say it, vanilla custard, the original from Capella, vanilla custard 2, and vanilla ice cream. And my total percentage was 13.5. So right now I'm going to adapt this and I'll tell you what I end up doing right after I actually make my changes.
Nice.
You make them changes.
I'm going to. Now, ooh, it's so weird, dude. This one doesn't say episode 1, it just says mixing it up. Like I didn't even know what I was doing at the time.
Well, I was telling Sifu, you and Sifu actually did mixes for episode 1 and 2. We just didn't mix on camera. Then on episode 3, we all did mixes. Because I actually had to rewatch the episodes because me being the genius that I am, I didn't number them or anything, so it made it a lot more harder for me to figure out what was what.
Okay, so this is episode 1, season 2. How are you guys writing that down?
I did S2 EP1, so season 2, episode 1. That's how I did mine.
Yes,
You
sir.
can do whatever the fuck you want.
S2 EP1.
EP1. Because I'm a binge watcher, I like to watch binge episodes of TV, so that's how they do it. That's how I did it.
Well, I think it's funny, like in the world of anime, they might start over the season, but they keep the numbers going.
Yep.
It makes it hella confusing sometimes.
All right.
And in the spirit of the episode, I'm going to adjust this on the fly. Of episode 1, it's like, no, that's not good, and I redo the whole bottle. So that's what I'm going to do. No, I'm not going to redo it. I think it needs some more citrus. So I'm going to put a little bit of Capella lemon lime in this guy.
Do it. Do it, and you're cool.
Because the champagne note is beautiful, the gin note is beautiful, this perfect sweetness. I love the floral from the elderflower, and the cucumber is working for me. I just want a little brighter, and maybe a little sweeter.
Excuse me.
A little brighter, a little sweeter.
No, not sugar. Super.
Oh, Chris, I was telling Sifu I got Zen for last week.
Ooh.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dude, fuck yeah.
It's very in the spirit of the show. I got
Yes.
Zen after like a year of not dealing with that.
Dude, I was actually thinking about that today. I was like, dude, I should just like put out a recipe that I got Zen on just for old time's sake.
Right?
Because it's been a real long time since I got Zen.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, and the bastard even gave me a 1-star.
Oh, shithead.
He went that far.
What
He was
the
trying to
fuck?
get my attention.
I guess he's a hero to somebody, but like, I don't get
Himself. He's a hero to himself. He's Mall Cop Supreme.
He's a mall cop supreme, he says.
So what's a dude Karen?
Kevin.
Chad. It's a
Kevin?
Chad, I thought.
A Chad?
No, a Chad is a dude that like thinks he gets all the ladies, even though he's kind of a piece of garbage human being.
Those are Chads. All right, so he is a Kevin.
Yep. It's sad that I know all these things.
Hey, you know what? I
That
would have
worked.
thought it was a Chad, so thank you for that.
That worked. So yes, I'm going to change this just a slight bit. I'm going to up the sweetness to 0.5%, 2.75, and I'm going to up the champagne, and I'm going to add lemon, lime, Capella.
Okay, I got my revisited recipe going. Here it is. Okay. So it's banana cream from TPA at 2%, banana nut bread from TPA at 3%, banana puree from Wonder Flavors at 0.25%, super sweet at 0.5%, vanilla custard at 2.25%, and vanilla custard 2 from TPA. Sorry, the vanilla custard is from Capella. The vanilla custard 2 is from TPA. So I already know that I'm going to need to steep this for a bit to get it really where I want it to be with that cap V1, but that's fine. And then the vanilla custard 2 at 2%, bringing it down to 10% even. And yeah, I'm going to mix it up. Mine's called Monkey Nut Cream.
Monkey nut cream.
Mixing it up. S2 Episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I called mine Gen Xer retcon, so I retconned it. So this is now that mix never existed, and now this is what I always intended it to be, and that's all there is to it.
I like it.
Whoa,
That's it.
that is a punch of
Because-
fruit.
Because this is working. I'm gonna stall for time for you guys. So I am getting this brute bubble wine from Bavora is a fantastic champagne flavor. It's bright, it's crisp, it's got kind of like an oaky type of wine flavor. It's not as off-putting or strong as the TPA that I usually use. It's a little sweeter, it's a little more palatable. It's working well. I'm a big fan of the botanical gin from the BTA, and I think the backing with the juniper from VSO is working very, very nice in this cocktail setting. So you don't just get this big punch of juniper, So you know that it's a gin, you know that it's juniper and gin, but it's combining with everything else, So it's
Gin
working
and
nice.
juice.
I love elderflower. It's got a very nice elderflower note in the back. And,
It almost didn't, though. It almost didn't have an elderberry flower.
I was panicking before the show. I couldn't find him, that little bastard. So, the lime Tahiti, Overdrip's a fan of it. I'm a fan of it. It's a fantastic, fantastic lime. It presents so nice. It doesn't have any like artificial lime, green popsicle type flavor. It's real fresh and bright. It's got a little bit of rind on the back of it. Yeah. And the addition of the lemon lime kind of boosts the overall brightness, the top end of it. And a little more sweetener did the same. And this is real balanced and good. I'm happy with it. Yeah. So, retcon, successful.
Nice. Sounds good.
Ooh, I kind of wish I'd used this instead of that banana cream, but I put the banana cream in. God damn it.
Okay, yeah, I might have to find that lime Tahiti. You guys are making it sound good.
It's
It
good,
is.
man.
It's a really good lime flavor.
I can definitely get down with it.
You know what's weird right now is that I'm kind of asking for a drop of cooling, like just a drop of cooling. Makes me want to reach for peppermint or Or WS23.
I was about to say, is the WS23 coming out? Is it gonna make a comeback?
Yeah. Man, it's begging for it. Like, this would be a really good ice flavor. Like, on a small device all day, would be nice.
Where's my banana nut?
Fuck it, let's do it. 2 holes in a bucket. Bucket! Here we go. So, a half a drop of peppermint. Let's see what happens. Half a drop is all you need to fuck something up.
There.
Anthony Romelo says you look like you're hotboxing.
I am. It's I had to open the window.
Did you get a window in?
Yeah. No, I mean a door.
Mm.
I need a vent. I do need a vent. What I need. Who's it? Scusi. Get out of here, vape.
Like the power washer. Dude, so far the fruit on mine is really good. I'm liking it. I'm still debating that cannoli shell though. Feel like I should do it.
What do you want from it?
Well, it's supposed to be a crepe. And I feel like the cannoli shell would complete that bakery.
You think so? I find that cannoli shell almost has like this like ever so slight burntness.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never gotten the burntness.
The Wonder Flavors one?
Yeah. See, I've gotten like I was telling Sifu, I like how it gives like fried pastries a more authentic like feel, because you know how they have like that greasiness ish kind of thing that they leave on the tongue.
Yeah.
I feel like it would add that, but I don't know. I'll keep vaping this and let it steep for a bit, and we'll see.
Cream filling. Banana puree. Wow, I really don't put very much of this in here. .08.
So, Chris, we were talking about testing liquids and stuff. Do you ever use sub-ohm tanks at any level?
No, but I was actually talking to Anthony about it. I think it was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. I remember after the show you were looking at getting a Falcon.
Yeah, so I'm gonna probably pick one up, but I just haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I mean, fuck. If I really, really like something, and I have like a fresh bottle of it, I'll try it. You know what I mean? Why not? I just hate fucking buying coils. Like that's what I just can't stand it.
Yeah, I mean for me the coil heads has always been like the bigger issue.
Well, we were also discussing over drip. It's like, okay, so we're mixers and we're trying to test things for a wide range of things, but if you really want to test a sub-ohm tank, you need a fresh coil with a fresh flavor, and if it doesn't work, that coil is basically fucked. I mean, you know, it never quite gets right, you know, after you put a flavor in it and you try to put another flavor in it, just...
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I would try it a few times with like a regular build, and then if I was like, "Oh, all right, it's past that test. Let's try the next one." It's not going to be so bad that I can't vape it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like ultimately, like this might sound super bad, and I'm aware of what I'm about to say is like not really that good. But like, I really don't care if it tastes good in a sub-ohm tank. You know what I mean? Like, how bad can it be? Like, I can't make something taste like really popping on a sub-ohm tank and then expect other people to vape it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, like all my shit, I like it. If other people don't, it is what it is, man. I'm not forcing anybody to spend their money to buy my stuff.
Yeah.
If I could, I would. Believe me.
Well, I was saying, most anybody that hits me up, they're also buying like a set of coils or something, so they're most likely going in an RDA or something bigger. But for me, where the conversation came up was, you remember Clouds of Mass Destruction?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit me up and he wanted some juicing coils and stuff, and he wanted all MTL stuff, and he was telling me that the rectum balls, he could taste the gram but nothing else. It just that's all it tasted like. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I did like move the PG VG ratios, but I didn't really boost anything. So that's where like that whole conversation kind of came up a little bit, and we even did some hardware talk. But so I don't know, just like random thoughts that Phil bring to the panel, see what others' opinions are and such things.
Well, okay. This is what I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this has maybe nothing to do with what you're talking about, or it might have everything to do with what you're talking about. So, I find I've heard in the past, right? I've heard people say, "Oh, um, if I'm doing a mouth to lung mix, like I'll boost the concentrates, and like if it's regularly like whatever, let's say I'm satisfied with the recipe like this one, it's at 10%. Well,
Mm-hmm.
what I'll do is I'll bump everything to 15%, but it'll be the same ratios.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm like, well, in my opinion, you're wrong. Because realistically, you could probably even drop the flavor percentages a bit and still have the same outcome. Because I find that if you, let's say this recipe right here that I'm shaking,
Yeah.
if I put this in a mouth to lung vape, right, and like let's say that I've lowered it to like a 60/40 instead of a 75/25, that it's going to change the way that it tastes, but everything's going to be more pronounced. There might be a few things that tail out and other things take over. So like the creaminess of the custards will probably come out more, and like the banana might be more subtle, whatever. I never put super sweet in here. Fuck. But that's because like mouth to lungs, it's different, right? So like I find mouth to lung, I can keep my recipes the same and just adjust the actual, 50, like turn it into a 50/50 or turn it into like a 60/40 or whatever,
Yeah.
and it'll perform just fine. So like I've mixed my vanilla custard, I've mixed my butterscotch custard at 50/50, same flavoring.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing, the only difference is like I'm adding PG and less VG, but it's the exact same flavoring as it would be in a 3 milligram,
Mm-hmm.
and it bangs. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And in like some setups, it's like uh, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, like it's
And
I don't find it underflavored is what I mean. When I
and that's
say
the thing. I will say, like, hardware does still play a big part in it, because even like in the Grim Discord or the Grim Facebook group, somebody had asked the question of, do you notice how some flavors work better in RDAs than they do in RTAs or sub ohm tanks and vice versa? And to me, that was like my response to it was like the liquid also plays a part into it. Like both things coincide. One can't exist without the other, and there is a bit difference going back and forth.
You see, that's the thing, Advocate Tim. I find like there's no middle in mixes in a sub-ohm tank. I find the middle's just washed out. You get top and bottom. I mean, the PNP coils are not that bad with it, but I just find that you lose top. It's all top and bottom and no middle. Like, and I think that's why you have to. Some people boost the saturation because you're losing, because it does wipe out some of those notes in the middle. You know, that's why I like the Reload S so much for flavor testing because it's a single coil that I can wick fast, but it's also not a tiny little, it's not a tiny one of these guys that's going to have like a lot of top end and won't have a lot of bottom. I think Wayne described the Barrage as boomy. You know, it's got a big, the bottom is real, it's like a boomy type of flavor, and I think that's kind of like the idea behind a sub-ohm tank. It's kind of a big boomy flavor, and for them to work in their best, they need to be super saturated because they're consuming so much liquid so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so um, that's why I kind of like the smaller PMP coils. They don't do that to me like a Falcon coil or what's the other one from Geek Vape, the Zeus coils. I don't know what the name of those coils are, but it's kind of the same thing. It's like so much air, so much liquid, so much stuff that just, you know, so it kind of burns out some in the middle, I find.
Yeah, and I'll give you that. Like, there is a lot more air in sub-ohm tanks, especially like if you get like the single mesh coils. If you were to look at them, it's just like a giant hole in the middle. And yes, that builds up in the chamber and all that, but there is still a lot more air needed, and the more air you have, the less flavor you're getting. And that's why, like, when 30 millimeter atomizers first came out, nobody liked them. It's because they were way too big, way too much air, and there wasn't enough much, like, the chamber was too massive for it to like go anywhere.
Not only that, at that time there wasn't really as complex coils that could handle as much power and everything else, right?
Well, we were saying that too. It's like back then when I was doing up sub-ohm tanks, they were bad. They weren't very good.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've had the Falcon. It was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah,
and I do. Let me see, where is it? Can I find it right away? Because I have like, oh, here it is. I have this guy right here, the Vapresso thingy. It's not that bad. Just not my preference. Like, sub-ohm is really not something I really dive into a whole lot.
Ooh,
and yes, nice. A couple of drops of WS-23.
Completed it?
Yep. Really, really like this mix now. I never thought I would say that. But,
yeah. Because the last time I remember you trying that, you said, "Oh fuck no."
Yeah. This is working. I think it's the right combination of flavors, right? I mean, I like banana ice. I'll get one of those air bars, banana ice, or some type of other ice flavor. But I just think some flavors kind of just call for a little coolness behind it, you know. And I think this one is a prime candidate for it. You know, it's really rounded this thing out. And,
for me, like with coolness, like some things I can handle. I don't want it there, but I can handle it there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other things that like I won't even use it.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, no, like I'm not even gonna try it. Like I don't know. You name it. Like if there's any dessert, even an ice cream, I do not want any cooling at all.
No.
But if it's like a real like crispy fresh fruit,
yeah,
I can get away with it. Like
I can get down with some coolant.
If it's like a crispy apple kind of vape and there's a bit of cooling, like there was one called Alto Apple from Nubilis, it's like an American company. I actually really enjoyed it, and I like now that I think back, it was probably like double apple, sweetener, and fucking a couple of drops of WS-23. But at the time, I was like, this is pretty good, and I could handle that level of cooling because it was minimal.
Yeah. Like this mix, you know, some lime, some brightness, some gin, some champagne, just a little bit on the back end. It just kind of when you exhale, it's got a little coolness. It's quite delightful. It's delightful. I'm happy with this one.
All right, Duchess Coyle, you say spaghetti taco, but if you were to make it in real life, is it that you use spaghetti as the filling for the taco, or would you make like a spaghetti shell? These are the questions I have for you, sir.
Yes.
I don't even understand what that would even be. I'm ready to talk about my liquid just because I already know it's probably going to be pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like the banana's there. It's like a nice creamy banana. The custard isn't really there, but I know what it's going to be because I I know those two concentrates really good. So I think it's gonna end up being like a nice creamy banana custard. I don't think that there's gonna really be much of a banana breadness to it. It might pick up a slight bakery note down the road, but like right now, it just tastes like a creamy banana custard. Really,
Nice.
Yes.
That sounds delightful to me.
Yeah, you know what's so weird, man? Like for me, I don't want to say that like I feel that banana is really like underrepresented in the vaping world,
Hmm.
even though it kind of is. There's not really a lot of like I don't think of that many banana flavors that have really been popular, like other than Quill Turds.
Yeah,
That's
the
like the
Bole
biggest
Bulu.
one that I
Yeah.
can think of.
Well, Grimm's is good
Outside of
too.
that,
Yeah.
there's like cornbread or banana bread pudding or whatever from Country Clouds, and then like that banana butt line, which I've never even had. I assume that there's banana in them,
Well,
obviously.
Taffy Splash has one. Has a banana taffy, a banana saltwater taffy. I bet
Yeah,
you
but
that
is
would be
it
good.
good?
Oh, well, I know that the Blue Raz one was really good. So,
The strawberry one's alright. I've never even had. This is the only one I've ever had. The strawberry one.
well, I got two bananas. I got the banana root beer and the banana custard. And I'm like you, Overdrip. It's like I find whenever it doesn't go into the runts side of things, that banana is very delightful in a vape. It's something you can vape all day, in my opinion. Like I don't like I can't vape Bole Bulu all day because it's cake. I just can't do cakes. It's got a big cake background to it, you know.
There's like a
So
slight funk to it that I'm not
yeah,
really fond of.
yeah,
I
right.
don't know even know what it is,
Yeah,
and
I don't
I'm
know.
not saying it's bad.
No,
It's
Well,
no,
I'll
no,
say
no.
it's bad. I'll
It's
say it's
really
horrible.
well. You don't like bananas at all,
No, like
so
this is the thing.
Yeah.
The part that I don't understand is there's people that are like mad addicted to it. I don't see that. I don't
Yeah.
see how you could be mad addicted to
well,
it.
well
I
Grimm's
can
is
see.
delightful. Grimm's banana cream beauty. It's got like a nice banana cream with like a graham behind it. It's delightful. It's pretty damn good, you know. Um, I prefer that type of banana flavor than a. It's the cake that kills it for me. It's like it just cake flavors I haven't had very much success with. So I'm like Overdrift said. It's got a funky note on the back of it that I just like some custards have that I just it doesn't work for me. So, but people destroy Bole Bulu, you know.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. It blows my mind. Like
Yeah.
I don't get it. I
Like
really don't get it.
I see Instagram pictures where somebody buys, you know, a dozen 120s of them. Are like, yeah, this will last me 2 weeks. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it's like, yo, just try my shit out, please. It's not banana though. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like this right now. Right now, I do.
Right now.
Well, like this is the thing, right? Like I know that it's gonna be better in a month, but I'll probably end up vaping it before then. Like just put it that way. I have the hardest time. It's weird, right? I can like let other people's shit sit for a while, but when you're working on something, I can't fucking let that sit. I can't. I can try my best, and like sometimes it'll be like, oh, I know that if I like give this 2 weeks, it'll be good. I'll fucking check that bottle like every day for the date, knowing that like it's not gonna change. I wrote it on there.
Yeah.
Why do I think that it's gonna change? And then like eventually I'll just break down and I'll be like, no, I need something fresh. I need something different, and I'm gonna try what I just fucking mixed up like 4 days ago. Sometimes you regret it. And other times you're like, nice. All right, I'm gonna
Nice.
fucking make some changes and mix up another bottle while I finish this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm not picking up any bakery from this.
Well,
That's
dude,
interesting.
you did heavy hand it though. You said you use Cap 1 and TPA 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I'm getting no bakery. like when you first mix them anyways. But like,
Right.
I know that it's gonna fold in real nice. I just hope that like the banana doesn't fade. But there's enough banana in there, it shouldn't fade. Fuck, there's 3 different bananas.
All right.
Oh, and I just want to say this is one quick thing from what you guys were talking about, because I was listening to you guys in the car on the way home.
Okay.
So I'll always use like a good single coil RTA that I like. I'll always use like 2 dual coil RDAs. If I'm like getting really close to like finishing a recipe, I'll put it in a layer cake and I'll put it in an original goon. And then I'll use like the Destiny or the Gear or like the Advocacy CP 1.2, like those 3 single coil RTAs, like one of those ones I'll use, because I think that all those things have like really good flavor. But not only that, I'm really familiar with all those, like all 5 of those addies. Like I've vaped a layer cake and a goon more than anything else, period. So I know exactly what everything tastes like. Like every one of the liquids that I've ever really enjoyed, I've vaped it in a goon or a layer cake. Like that's a fact, because I use those all the time. And then I do it for the single coil RTA, because lots of people vape at a lower wattage in like a single coil sort of restricted vape. And one of the RTAs that I'll use also is the Boreas V2 for a dual coil. If I want to like,
If you're getting saturation from high wattage, then you know that it's going to bang in smaller devices at lower wattage. You know, it's not necessarily the opposite way. If it's banging in a small one, and you start turning the wattage up, you could be burning off a lot of the stuff that you want. So.
Alrighty. We're coming to the end here. We're going into overtime. So you guys want to say your goodbyes? Chris, you want to start us off?
Yeah. All right. So sorry for being late again. That's life, I suppose. But it still sucks. I'm just glad that I got to be here. I got to mix. I got to shoot the shit with my boys for a couple minutes. I never even got chat up, so I apologize if anybody was saying anything to me in chat. I love you, but I didn't get it up.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. But yes, so go follow us on ELR. Go mix our shit. That'd be great. Anthony, anything that I've ever mixed, feel free to do it. And if you want to bump up the percentages, you know how you can do that. You just hit adapt this recipe, and then you can go to flavor totals and you can adjust it to the whatever percentage you feel like vaping it at. Also, you guys can check me out on Friday nights on Frank Janklin Vaper YouTube channel for The Green Room, as well as you can go to shuttimepodcast.com. You can give us a follow on SoundCloud. We're getting close towards a giveaway where I'm giving away like the full line of my liquid on there. So, you know, go give us a follow on SoundCloud. That'd be much appreciated. And also, if you guys want, you can check out my website, which is UncleChrisTestingGrounds.com. Use the code Mixingitup. Saves you a little bit of cash. Lots of people have been jumping on that flavor pack. It actually ends up being pretty cheap when you put in the coupon code. So yeah, if you guys want to do that, feel free. Please do. I mean, shit, you can just go check out the site if you want. See some awesome photos from Danny Castle and from Sean Typhon. Those guys helped me out big time with my photos. And yeah, I guess other than that, everybody just have a good week. Be safe. Mix it up. Nice. And seafood.
Hey, thanks everybody. It was it's been a fun year, and it was fun to revisit the first mix. I think it was you know, it's like Clown was like, you know, I kind of tried to go in there thinking that I knew what I was doing. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try some alcohol stuff, and then, but you know, just for Clown to go, yeah, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I don't know what this thing was.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be bluntly honest. I mean, you could ask my wife; she'll tell you anybody's ever hard on me, it's me. Nobody else can tear me down better than me, and I'm amazing at it. 35 years of practice.
It's been super fun. Just a progression. You know, that's what you want, right? You want to progress in anything that you do, and you know, something as fun as this, where you can continually progress, and we can look back on a mix and go, shit, I've learned so much since then. Let me open this thing guy back up and re-look at it, you know.
Yeah.
And we all came away with something we pretty much enjoyed. So, you know, that first mix, I was like, no, no, don't. I might have put it in the notes like, don't vape this. This is not good. So anyway, my normal channels. I got the new strawberry is getting a wide is being pretty well received. It's so fluffy, the strawberry baked Alaska, and the menu's updated. And just hit me up for liquids, and I will get them to you. That's how that works. So thanks again. See you guys next week. Bye.
Alrighty. Yeah. We've said it a million times at this point. Yeah, follow these guys, hit them up for liquids, hit up testinggrounds.com. What's the whole website again?
This is Uncle Chris Testing Grounds.
There you go. So just hit them up, get you some of that custard.
Get the pear.
Get the
For
pear.
sure, if you just hit up UC Testing Grounds, it'll on Google, it'll find it for you.
Yeah,
Nice.
I need to get the pear. I think I'm gonna order that tonight.
Yeah, but get you some pear. Learn that pear can be good. It's not always disgusting. And then he's got some. Yeah. Then he's got some new things on the horizon, so always be on the lookout for that. Oh shit. Okay. And then Mitch, we miss you, buddy. Hopefully you're doing well. But go hit him up and see what he's up to. See what liquids he's got going on and stuff. Then from there, if you guys are interested in anything I do, hit me up on Discord, Instagram, Facebook. On most of those, KVTV on _online, and on Discord is just JAK Clown. If you go to my Facebook group, Clown Crew, there is a link that will send you to the Discord, and you can see what ridiculousness we do over there, what little there is. But it's more in the sense of I do things over there I can't pull off on Facebook because Facebook loves to police the shit out of fucking vaping. Then what else? Yeah, as Duchess says in the comments here, go check out Codename Wired. We are doing episode 5 this coming Sunday. We are going to be talking some staggered Fuse Claptons and beyond, because we've all been pushing the envelope into like triple cores and all that, and even Sloan's gone a little berserk with it, where he's all like, well, I'm going to make like the biggest staggered coil ever made. Because we don't. Even Duchess was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" So you guys will get to see like a little bit more of that. And I think Sloan gets to pick the torture for the next 3 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. And what else? And yeah, be on the lookout for my videos. I'm still working through editing the coil series. I was on Across the Pond with Sifu on Saturday night, and like I was mentioning on there, this actually has become a bigger endeavor than I thought it was going to be initially. And I already have most of the footage done, and even trying to start editing, I was like, yeah, I'm going to need to film some more stuff. And so, yeah, this has turned into more than I expected. And
well, you'll be proud of me. I did flip through the Google Docs that you made for resources, and I found that was fascinating. So I got a shopping list together, and I'm excited for your intro series.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. But yeah, like I was saying, we do have a Codename Wired Discord as well, and on both that one and the Clown Vapes one, I do have Google Docs for building and even for some DIY stuff. The DIY list, I keep having to like go back through it and change it, just because with everything going on the way it's going, it's gotten a lot more harder to like source things. Even last night we were talking about sourcing VG, just because Nick River or River Supply Co. they've gone full wholesale. So unless you have a wholesale account with them, you can't get anything with them. You said Bull City is not doing VG anymore, or are they just out completely?
They are not selling gallons.
No,
okay.
okay.
Get them by the liter now.
Okay,
so,
okay.
So that whole bit with tagging, loading up your cart and then dropping a $20 gallon into your cart.
Yeah.
You have to get liters. So it's, but I did find a nice resource. It was Glycerin Direct, something like that.
Yeah.
And I ordered, the reviews were glowing for that website. I did some research on them. They're out of Houston, Texas. And so I placed my order, and then 30 minutes later, I got shipping notification.
Nice.
And I was
That's always good.
I was out the door for like 40 something bucks shipped for a gallon of VG and a gallon of PG. So
That's not bad.
it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Shipping was $13, $14. So.
That's still cheaper than what Nick River is asking for wholesale.
30 something bucks was what Nick River was asking for.
No, it's more.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So,
it's terrible.
So I'll drive to Houston.
Yeah.
4 hours away.
I know, right? We'll drive to Houston, pick up some VG, and hang out.
Meet in the middle.
I know,
We'll
right?
go to a Stroh's game. Hang out.
But yeah, so be on the lookout for all that stuff, and just as I've said before, your coil builders, your DIY liquid manufacturer peoples, be nice to us. I mean, honestly, we're just humans still trying to do what humans do with day jobs and families and stuff, and just because we didn't send you tracking 5 minutes after you placed your order doesn't mean you're not going to get it. Just bear with us even slightly. Be kind. But yeah, beyond that, thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll catch you guys next week. We'll see what we're up to and all that. But yeah, until then, vape on, mix on. Chair spin.